Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your boy CBR Punk coming at you guys with a brand new video. So here's the deal. If my audio sounds shitty, it's because I just don't have any microphone for that right now. Like, I don't have one that I can attach to my shirt and carry around with me. So for right now, we're using the camera audio, so it might sound a little bit rough around the edges, but either way, you guys will get the video that you're looking for, okay? So I know it's kind of a weird camera angle for me too, but here's the deal. Today we're actually I'm gonna build my first PC ever. So right now we have all the parts lined up here behind me, and we're going to get into that today. And we're just gonna go over all of this. So again, guys, this is my first PC build. If you're coming here for expert advice and expert PC building, you came to the wrong place. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't want to waste your time. But if you came to just watch and see how easy I'm hoping it will be for a newer person, stick around. Maybe you'll learn something. Yeah. So I do have some knowledge of PCs and stuff. I'm not an expert by any means, but I have some knowledge. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, so the first thing I kind of want to do is just show you guys my current setup. So I know the first things you guys are probably going to be complaining about too are these wires everywhere and all that. But yeah, I just need to do cable management, and right now I wasn't too worried about it due to the fact that I still haven't even built my PC. So right now currently over here we have this right here, which is a Aquaplex or whatever of Dell. It's running an Core i5 processor with a i5 446 something, I think it is. Alright, so now just moving on to the part of this first, let's start off with my case right here, right? So currently the case that I have is a fractional Meshy C. It's a weird name, but yeah, it's a Meshy C case. So it's gonna have, you know, the clear front for you so you can see all your parts. And then let's move on to the motherboard. So my motherboard is the Tough Gaming X57 Plus Wi-Fi by Asus motherboard. They're not bad. They're not super expensive motherboards. They're, from what I've always seen or reviews I've seen, they're pretty decent motherboards for not too bad of a price. Next, we're going to move on to my CPU, which is currently going to be the Ryzen 9 3900X. As you guys may know, with the current pandemic and everything going on, finding a Ryzen 9 5900X is not like a shot in the dark. But even if you find one, do you really want one? So for my storage, I'm going to go with the 1TB 97 Evo from Samsung, M.2, MVMT, M.2, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, so that'll be my storage for now. And then I also have a 500 gigabyte SSD currently in my my current PC build. So we're going to take that out and put that in this one. To the RAM. So the RAM, we have a Corsair 32 gigabyte Corsair RAM with 3600 mHz on it. Okay, which will be perfect for AMD builds because they can actually take advantage of that speed. For the cooler, we're gonna have the Kraken Z53. I just like the fact that it's gonna have a pretty front. That's it. So on this little thing right here, we're gonna have a display, and it's gonna tell us basically, it can tell us the temperatures. We can put GIFs on there, all that good stuff. It just looks cool. Is it necessary? Probably not, but it looks cool. Last but not least, of course, we have our power supply. So right now I'm going with an 850X Corsair power supply. So it's going to be 850 watts, gold rated, 10-year warranty, all that good stuff. And that brings me to the last part that everybody's expecting me to talk about, which is the GPU. As you guys know, we are currently in a really interesting time with GPUs. Finding one is hard as is, and then when you do find one, they're overpriced as hell. And for me personally, I have a hard time paying overpriced for something. I mean, if it was like Best Buy upped their price because they just could, because they're Best Buy, I get it. We're at their mercy. But when scalpers start going on eBay and overcharging prices for a GPU, it doesn't sit well with me. So I'm currently not going to do that. Because that's just not something I want to do. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. maybe till April or so and see if it works out. From what I'm hearing, it's not looking good. This might not be fixed even 2022. But oh well, I can live with the current GPU that I have, which brings me on to what my current GPU is. I don't have the box right now because I already have it installed in my old PC. So it's going to be the 1650 Super. It's a okay GPU. It's definitely not the best by any means, but hey, you can play most games at 60 FPS if you need to. Good enough. One of the reasons though why I decided to continue on even though I couldn't find GPUs and so on and so forth is because right now with my current PC that I have over here, the CPU processing unit and the GP and the RAM is just not gonna keep up with like the task that I need, which is like video editing and stuff like that. So one of the reasons why I decided to jump forward into just doing this regardless of my old GPU being part of this is because I just really need a better rig overall. So the multitasking on my old PC is absolutely garbage. If I open something like Star Wars Battlefront and then let's say try to go into Discord, that shit is running slow as fuck. And we ain't living with that forever, okay? Especially not while we're in the middle of a pandemic. Alright, so without further ado guys, let's go ahead and start building. I'm super fucking excited about this, so let's get to it. So we have an AMD socket right over here off to the corner. You guys can't see it in there obviously, but there's a little arrow. So from what I understand, that is how we do this. So let's go ahead and open our CPU box. So here is our beautiful, beautiful little CPU. I'm guessing under it, it has the it has the cooler, which we're not even going to use the cooler that comes with it. We open. There we go. Alright, so right here on the motherboard there is a little pin that you are going to pull up, like so. Okay? Then, very gently, we are going to take it out. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Okay. So what I'm looking for is there's a little gold arrow, and that should go like so, bro. This feels really bad because there we go. So now it's locked in. Whew. And we're all good, no creases or anything like that around the edges. It all looks good. Alright, so A2 would be right here, so you pull these little bad boys back, so you have little clips on each side. Again, you watch any video, you'll see. Is it just one side it pulls? Yeah, it should be one side. Yeah. Alright, so then we go and we stick this bad boy in. And then I know they say give it a good push. There we go. Alright. So make sure it's really in there. Alright. So after a little bit of researching, we found it right here, which this right here is where the M.2 is supposed to go. So I have to remove this heat sink. I was wondering, I was like, doesn't it have a heat sink? But yeah, so we remove this heat sink. M.2. Look, I always thought these things, focus camera, I always thought these things were way bigger than this. I don't know, I'm just very surprised at how small this is. Alright, so it looks like we just plug this right in here. like so. I don't know if I push. There we go. Okay, so it kind of sticks a little bit, so we gotta put our screw in there. Okay. So unfortunately, I do not have a magnetic screwdriver. I think a magnetic screwdriver would come in handy for this. Alright, so now we have the case. I did already go ahead and just install all the standoffs, so the motherboard has something basically to sit on. Alright, so now we're just going to fasten down the motherboard. And yeah, so I was having trouble getting it in at first, and one of the reasons why I was having trouble getting it in is because I didn't have the I/O shield in as good as I should have. So if you are a new person at this, like me, definitely watch for that. Alright guys, so I kind of fast forward some stuff. So I think since last checked in, I have this installed, which is my AIO cooler, the NZXT Z53. I have that installed. I installed my fans. I moved one of the ones that comes with the case to the top up here because I didn't have no room in the front, and my AIO wouldn't fit in the top with the motherboard. I ran all my cables. The power supply is already in. And everything is hooked up as far as I can tell. I don't think there's anything I'm missing, but who knows. And the other thing we're going to do is put the GPU in, which we're going to do right now. I'm currently uninstalling all the drivers from my old computer before I take that out. And we should be good to go. Hopefully this thing don't blow up. So, let's see. We'll do startup here in a few minutes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So, everything is in. As you guys can see, my graphics card, the 1650 Super, is in there. Made cable management's okay, but anyway, time to power it on. Let's hope all goes well. Here we go. So I'm gonna flip this. Oh, the light's coming on. That's good. Oh shit! It all came on. Look at that. Fuck yes. Let's do this. Ooh. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, there we go. Sorry for the bad camera setup. Just my phone. Sorry for the bad camera stuff, guys, but yeah, I'm super excited, super stoked. I built my first PC, holy fuck. Now I just gotta do all the other stuff. Yeah. Cool. So, fast forward to today now, and basically we are in that video that you guys were watching before. All those videos of me building the PC and so on and so forth was in February of 2021, and we are now currently in June of 2021. So some new updates for you guys on my PC that I built behind me. As you guys can see, completely done, Windows installed. Is one, I got rid of the RGB fans. I put RGB fans in it, I mean. And then two, I got a new monitor. So my monitor is actually a 1440p by 144 hertz at a 1 millisecond response time, and it's an LG. And then I have a second monitor over here because I'm going to eventually probably start streaming and doing all those good things. The biggest thing to note, though, that's new to my PC was I was lucky enough to come across a 3060 Ti. And how I did this was basically there's a program or a Discord chat that is called Robot. And Robot basically pops up every store that has whatever GPU you're looking for that's available. So I was lucky enough to get on that like real quick. I was trying for a 3080. It didn't work. It didn't give it to me. It already sold out in like a split of a second, and luckily a 3060 Ti popped up, and I just took it. TTI at about 400. It's EVGA, so of course aftermarket ones or third parties basically, like EVGA and all those, tend to be run a little bit more expensive than the basic one. So I got it for about $400, which compared to what they are right now is pretty fucking good, because they're about 700-800 I think right now. Yeah, so my build is pretty much complete. The only thing, I mean, again, but beggars can't be choosy, would be a 3080 Ti over the 3060 Ti, just to make it one hell of a beast. But I mean, I've been running it for almost 4 months now, 4 or 5 months now, and it's been very smooth. I'm editing this current video on it and so on, so it's been pretty okay. One thing I do want to mention real quick, guys, just to rewind back to that video, the video that I'm currently creating, and something I did when I was building this that you probably shouldn't do, that I read later on, was I actually put the motherboard on top of the box with the plastic wrapper that it came in. They say they recommend you don't do that, just due to the fact that it could have charge on it and it could fry your motherboard or so on. But I didn't have any problems. As you guys can see, everything ran perfectly smooth. But yeah, so I mean, only updates is, you know, new graphics card, some RGB fans, and that's pretty much about it, guys. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing here on my channel is hopefully trying to get more content out to you guys, of course, but I'm going to start streaming on YouTube, and I'm also going to start streaming to Twitch at some point here. So if you guys are interested in those things, definitely try to get me on my Instagram, which is again in my I'll have it linked down at the bottom, but that will be where I'm going to try to post a schedule once I, you know, get one set up. But we're going to be Twitch and YouTube, and hopefully I'm still going to be making you guys videos. Today is Friday, June 25th. I'm actually going to probably stream, so if you guys obviously didn't catch that video, don't catch it today live, at least try to maybe come back and rewatch the whole video. That's something I like about streaming on YouTube, is it saves it, so you guys can go back and watch it even if you weren't able to make the time. So yeah, that's it, guys. As far as building a PC, I highly recommend it. Maybe not in this current market, because things are just absolutely ridiculous. Even like my 1650, I got it for $189 way back, maybe in 2019 before the pandemic. Now that shit's $485. So I probably don't recommend building in this current market. And I know it sucks to say, because some of you guys are probably super hyped, but I mean, if you have the money and you really don't care about spending a little overpriced, then go for it. But as a basic consumer, I would recommend don't do it. The market's just a little too crazy at the very moment. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to let it go here. But yeah, guys, so we're going to end the video, and it was really good building the PC. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please follow me on Instagram, and you know, like and subscribe to this video. And yeah, thank you guys so much for just watching. I appreciate it, and you guys have a great day. Thank you.